Good evening. My name is Chapeau Claudette, also known as Claudette, because I love clouds and I also love to be observant of our sun, moon, and stars. I am doing my first little video on YouTube, and I want to share two things with you. Well, maybe three. One is the auto draw app or website. It's just www.autodraw.com, where you can draw anything. And if you can't draw like me, because I can't draw, it will suggest what you're trying to draw. But I'm not using it for that. I'm going to use it to show you how to draw the symbols for some of the planets in the sky, and also for the zodiac signs, because it's just like hieroglyphic. It's shorthand, and if it's easier to do that, and it's quite good to exercise, to be able to recognize and exercise your brain to um, talk in symbols. So, without further ado, what I want also to share with you today is where I get my information from. Now, there's a physicist. He has the website www. I should put it here. Let's see. He has the website www.astrology 13.com. Make it smaller. You can see it better. Ooh. Oh, maybe let me just move the whole thing over here. Astrology. Did I not spell it right? Please bear with me. This is my first. Maybe that's too small. My first kind of class lesson. So let's get me back in there. Why aren't you there? Okay, this is maybe not the best. We want to type. Oh, I know what it is, maybe. How frustrating. Sorry about that. Without further ado, we don't want to do that. We're going to go back. Okay, maybe we can just try it again really quickly. If it... Oh, no. Let's see if it's going to draw for us. Yes. Okay, let's start with that. It wants to draw. It doesn't want to do anything. This is the symbol for the sun. Okay? So it's just one big circle and a dot. So I just jumped to that because it was getting a bit frustrating to find. So let's talk about the sun. And before, I was so happy. I was like, yeah, I did this, da da da. And I could write, oh, here we go. Sun, there. Okay, I don't know why. I can't, but you see, that's the sun. So you learned that there's one big circle and a dot in the middle. And the sun is today, this is actually the beginning of the day, because today in London there was a fire and I just wanted to know what was going on there. And I did the time for right before 1 a.m. on the 14th of June. And this is just the first kind of class that I want to have up on my channel, also known as Claudette, and it's about Skystrology. So if you go to astrology13.com, it's a physicist. Let me go back. So tangent. Whoops. Come back. There is a physicist called Vasilis Kanatas. He's written a book as well, and he used the calculations where NASA says the constellations are and where the planets are and the sun and the moon to make it possible for anyone to go to that website and calculate where the planets are at any time of day. And especially what's interesting is on the day you're born and the hour and the place. And that's free and it's really useful. So I use it a lot. I go there and I put in the dates that I want. And then it gives me this lovely little chart. Now, just for the first time explaining, there's us in the middle, there's Earth. Yeah, and then looking from Earth, from London at that point, this is what the heavens look like to us. And so these are the constellations, and they're different sizes because that's how they look from our perspective. Yeah. So today, this is says NA, but there's a little the symbols underneath that. You can't really see it. So here we have the sun at 29 degrees Taurus. So you can't see the Taurus, but I'll draw it for you. So that's a 29-degree Taurus here. Now, Taurus has about 31, 37. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, about 35 degrees there. And it is opposing Saturn, which is at the point of the galactic center at the 13th sign of Fucus. And what the really persuasive, I want to call it persuasive, fact about being aware, or even just giving the 13th sign concept a chance as opposed to Western astrology, is that the position of the galactic center, which is the middle of the Milky Way, we all know they talk about how special that is, and it's the black hole. Well, the placement astronomically is around these degrees of Fucus. It is actually in the constellation of Fucus. So I feel that makes it really special. So if a Western astrologer is talking about astrology, it's gonna talk about the zodiac and is not going to mention the 13th sign in Western astrology. But sidereal and astrology 13 are people who recognize that. They do, and they recognize that in that 13th sign is where the black hole is the center of the Milky Way, and that has the special power to it. It has an unusual power, and it's good to observe the different energies or situations that happen when planets, and especially our main kind of heavenly bodies, which are the sun and the moon, and make a connection at that point. And because we've got Saturn there, and Saturn is around, really, it's all kind of mythology of the sky. It's about boundaries. That's why it has the rings on it. It has the hectagon at the top. All these things are also to do with vibration and energy, and that's the energy it puts out. We live in an electrical universe, so Saturn has this kind of confining energy, this kind of strategy energy to teach you things. And I'm gonna say in my life I'm being taught a lot of things now. But without further ado, that's the sign Saturn, and it is opposing the sun, and it opposed the sun today when that happened in the galactic center. And I find that quite interesting, kind of a tug of war. What's good to know is that the moon, which is here, was trying Mercury and Jupiter, and That's so hopeful because you could see how many people came out and with feeling like the moon is about taking care and the feeling and communicating social media and getting information out and people telling things and all this information's come out about, you know, the whole society and, you know, how they why they did what they did and why they were put all that money, like $8 million to do a building, and now look, it's so sad. But I'm trying not to go into the low vibration energy of being upset and angry about this. You have to ask yourself why these things happen and learn from it, because in a way some things are going to happen, but what are we going to learn from it? So what we learn from this is that, you know, the like I always call these the tug of war, like tug of war, tug of war, tug of war. And if we're going to the galactic center, you know, it may seem that everything's okay in a way, you know, it's like, oh look, you could say, as this building got new face facade basically, but in reality it did not. And the interesting and the most powerful thing about the 13th sign is really uncovering, you know, it's about the shift. It is about, you know, you can't get by pretending anymore, being the facade. You, whatever is under the surface is going to come out, you know, you can't escape that. Oh God, when I talk like this, I just think about my own situation. But that's the way what astrology is about. So, um, this is how I see this day, you know, happening. This is the main aspect, the big line cross. It's the only big opposition here. And then we have a grand try. And people, when I see this grand try, you can take this situation, and the best way is to go forward. And you know, it is going forward. You know, they're going to check all the buildings for fire regulations now. Like that all happened. Boom, boom, boom. Unfortunately, people lost their lives because of it, and that is not okay. A lot of families and children have, you know, lost, you know, part of their lives, because I know what it's like to lose a loved one, because you also lose the memories of that person, and it is a tragedy. And my heart felt sympathies go out to the families, and you know, anyone who knows people there, and it will be quite a journey for them to go on now. So 1 second of silence for that. Okay, that was a moment of silence for those who lost their lives there, and London, and the 14th of June 2017. And this is what the sky above them looked like, you know. So let's just make this short. And here you have how to draw the sun. Now I'm going to show you how to draw Saturn. And that'll be all for tonight. If you want to know more about how to draw the signs, then join me. You can join me every day. I'm going to try not to make them too long, but who knows. And yeah, you can learn how to do that. If you want to know more, of course, I have a book. I'll put it in the link. It's a calendar book, and it has inspirational sayings in it, but the main thing, it tells you when the sun and the moon are changing signs astronomically, which is information you can find in just a handful of places. Okay, so here we're drawing again. So this is auto draw. You can go, I'm you know, I think this is such a cool thing. So auto draw, and we're gonna draw Saturn. Could have been nicer. Just trying to say, and you cross over here, and across over here. Now, there's different interpretations. I've always been taught to draw it like this. That looks a bit weird. Let me do another one because I think I like it fatter. So we're going to do it fat, and then just so you don't. Okay, so you do it here. You go, and then it's like a H. Then you come down. There. You should clean it up a little bit for me. And then you cross it. That's a nice Saturn. Doesn't have to have that wiggly wop there. So let's do it again. I'm going to try not to go off the... This is Saturn. Go down like a H more. Yeah, you want to come up here. You want to go down and up. And then you want to cross your little T. There, that's a nice Saturn. So yeah, that is the lesson for today. How to draw this is Saturn. Okay, so I don't know how to get rid of that, but I will get better with time. And yeah, there we go. Saturn. Okay, so signing off. I will see you tomorrow. I will try to make it earlier tomorrow, and we will explore perhaps the next sign that the moon is going into. The moon will go into. I think I'm gonna also do my podcast, and if I do, I will put the link there because I do need to go through the signs for people who've been telling me. And podcasts I do on Anchor because it has really nice background music, which I really like to have in my podcast. Okay, so just know the energy today is still in Capricorn. It will be changing tomorrow into Aquarius. Capricorn is very earth-based, practical, getting things done, and taking initiative. Those are just keywords anyway, but yeah, that's all for today. Lots of love for me. My name is Chapeau Claudette, also known as Claudette, because I love clouds. Okay, if you like what you hear, subscribe to the channel and we'll explore these heavenly bodies and their symbols together. That's all for now, folks. Bye.